Today we're going to be checking out 4 different products that claim to seal glass. First, let's take a look at the Gyeon Q2 View, and this is supposed to be sort of the little brother to this guy here. It's got to be easy to use. It's all supposed to be self-contained in the applicator, and it should be a really simple way to add some protection to your glass. Now, all the instructions for this product are going to be located right here. There is also a QR code to a video. And if you open this thing up, what you can see is there's a pad in here. And here is the big brother. This is the regular view, and this is a straight up coating. So let's take a look at what we get in our package here. Glass cleanse there. And this repel. Gyeon says that just like with this product, you're supposed to do the full prep. And I'm told this will cure right at 24 hours, which is great. That's what we're going for. It does suggest replacing or cleaning or adding some of the stuff to your wipers. I think since we're testing multiple products, we'll just clean the wipers. CARPRO's Clarify PH₂OBIC product here is a new glass cleaner, but the PHOBIC name should give something away in that they claim it is dual action. Not only does it clean, it also provides protection. This is why we're testing it against some of the dedicated sealers, just to see what an all-in-one product can do in comparison. We're not going to be testing the cleaning features of the product, but I thought it was interesting. This Bola brand is new to me, and I was sent a lot of the Maximizer series to test out. We're going to be starting with this G37, and I know it says glass cleaner, but much like the Clarify up here that we talked about, it is a 2-in-1 product. Now, I can't really read all the stuff in the back because it's in Korean. I think they're not maybe completely ready for the US market yet. I did find where it says it can last up to 3 months, and it should work at low speeds, like down to 30 kilometers an hour, which is impressive. So I was able to translate the back of the bottle with Google Lens. It's not great. Our friends at Carzilla sent me all of these products that you see here. I'd love it if you took a look at the affiliate links down below in the description. Anything you purchase on the Carzilla website will help run the channel. Today's testing is going to be done on my Audi here. The car's a little dirty, but we're going to clean the windshield up. For that, we're going to use some of this Adams glass cleaner, which I really like, and we'll use this Vonix clay bar pad, as well as some isopropyl alcohol to cap things off. It is important to wipe your wipers. Look at all that grime and dirt. What we're going to do is wet the windshield. When I first start scrubbing, like especially right here, I mean, I could just feel those bumps. Man, I see every little rock chip now. Now we're gonna hit it with some isopropyl alcohol, and this is reduced down to about 50%. With the windshield prep, we're gonna apply the quick view on this section here. This does seem fairly easy. Hopefully it wipes up easy. Now we give it 5 to 10 minutes as it flashes, and then we wipe it up. We're right at 10 minutes in. Let's go ahead and wipe this up. We'll see how easy it is. Definitely takes a little bit of an effort, but I mean, it's by no means bad. It's just, it might take you a tiny bit more effort than, let's say, a spray silica product. In the middle driver's side here, we're gonna be applying the Gyeon coating, and for that, we're gonna start with the cleanse, even though we've already done all the prep and all that good stuff. And I think this pad being all woolly is meant to kind of roughen up and get all the contamination out the surface. But like I said, we've already done the clay bar. And they do say to kind of go slow and make sure you hit everything. I've never used something like this. This is quite interesting. I've always kind of used, liquid cleaners and clay bars and things like that. It almost seems like it's like a wool polishing pad. This material feels like maybe it's got a little abrasive in it. So I think what this really is a polish. Interestingly, Gyeon basically says to use one of these kits for 1 car. Maybe something to consider on the price side of things, depending on how well the product lasts. We're now ready for our first layer of repel. One thing that kind of sucks is there's no slots to put the cloth into, so you kind of have to hold it. I like to saturate the pad on the first pass with most coatings, and then I only put a few drops going forward. It just tends to make things work better for a start. It's been 15 and I'm ready to do a second coat. The second coat is now ready to be wiped up and we'll be all done with this product. I'm using a very lightly damp cloth and it's coming right off. That was actually quite easy. Over here, we're gonna go for the Clarify from CarPro. Excited to test this out. Do a couple of light sprays here. That should be good to get us going. And we're gonna spread that around, and then we're just gonna wipe it off just like any silica sealant, and wow, that immediately feels super smooth. And then of course we have our Bola G37, and it's gonna go right here. Set to spray onto a microfiber, wipe around, and then I'm assuming we're just wiping off like any normal silica product. Very easy removal. Now we'll give everything 24 hours to cure. We'll be back tomorrow and we'll test the products out. It's the next day now, everything's had a chance to cure. Let's take a look at what the hydrophobicity is like. We're just gonna use our garden hose on the glass here, and I'll give you guys a reminder on what everything is. On the very right driver's side here, we've got the Quick View from Gyeon. And then the second portion after that, we've got that Gyeon coating that we applied. It's supposed to be kind of the big brother, followed by the CARPRO, and then finally at the end, that G37 that we applied. So let's see what the hydrophobicity is like when we just spray with our garden hose. So yeah, I wanna say the Gyeon Quick View definitely beads very well, and the Gyeon coating has that really crazy contact angle. You can see the giant beads. I mean, it's not as crazy as some of the paint coatings, but it's definitely very cool. The CarPro product seems to be working pretty well. It definitely makes a difference. The G37, I'm struggling to even see the difference with the control. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the car on and I'm gonna let the automatic wipers run as I spray the windshield. I'm gonna spray for a minute and then we're gonna stop and see how the products are doing. At least one of the products is causing the wipers to skip. Let's take a look and see what survived. Let's start with a Quick View. So I can definitely still see where we have the Quick View applied. It's hung on to that minute worth of windshield wipers running. Yeah, the coating's still working well too. I can clearly see it. So good job, Gyeon, on that coating. So I would say the CarPro clearly working. The G37, I'm not really sure that ever did anything. Let's go for 5 minutes of wiper runtime now. Let's start with the Quick View. You can see that nice corner there where it's still working. And then on the coating, we see a similar thing. We see a very clean corner. I think the CarPro product is starting to wear down after now 6 cumulative minutes of wipers running. When I've done this kind of testing in the past, head-to-head between different products, I've seen that some of them are just not good performers, sort of like what we saw with the G37 so far. You can tell that the CarPro product is like, okay, we can see it does bead, but the two Gyeon products on the right, on the driver's side, you can actually see right now how much less water there is sitting on that part of the glass. So this is part of what I've been wanting to show with this kind of test. Obviously, I'm not gonna run the hose for a month to simulate 30,000 kilometers or something like that. So we're at cumulative 16 minutes. Let's take a look at our glass here. I still see the lines out here, like there's still that beading effect. So the coating itself, I think, is working better than Gyeon Quick View, but surprisingly, it's also taken a beating. That line is not as sharp as it was before. So the CarPro product's definitely taken a very stiff beating. I think it's largely gone. What's interesting, you could see the arc that the wiper takes, and it's working in that little bit up here, but then it just disappears where the wiper's been going. So I ran another 14 minutes to get us to a cumulative 30 minutes of wiper passes, and let's see what the performance is like. When you mist the water on, you can kind of see we still have these shapes from the two Gyeon products. They are still working. So yeah, we can still kind of see the wiper shape, but the CarPro's definitely dead. That thing's not coming back. Having had a chance to play with all 4 products, I think the Bola probably came in the weakest for me. I don't know, maybe it's a great glass cleaner. I will play with it later and see. I just don't think it worked well as a glass coating. It does seem to indicate that it's supposed to protect glass. I know it says cleaner, but it's 2-in-1. It says it on the bottle. Maybe I did it wrong, but one thing I would recommend for companies trying to enter the US market, you know, you do need to put some instructions on there in English. I'm using a translator. The website didn't really seem to be able to help me either. So maybe I did it wrong, but that is something to consider when entering a market, is whether or not people will know how to use your product. Next, let's say the CarPro Clarify was probably my second least favorite. I do think the Clarify has some benefits if you were to use it every time you wash your car or every few times. You know, clearly I think it can last for like a single normal trip around town with some rain on it. But I don't think I'd rely on it as a sealant long term. So it's probably my second least favorite in terms of protection. So the question is, do you get this more ceramic coating style View product from Gyeon or the Quick View? And for me, I would probably say the Quick View. Now, interestingly, the Quick View is the more expensive one. I'm seeing it coming in around 40 bucks, while this can be had for somewhere around $20, $30. The other thing to consider is the difficulty of application. This is definitely a more user-intensive application, while this is an easier one. Looking at the early kind of impact on both products, I do think this one is likely to fail earlier than this one. However, I don't think you're going to be running for 30,000 kilometers. I kind of have my doubts on that. For me, given how easy it is, and although it is a little more pricey, I would give the win to the Quick View. It seems like a pretty simple product to use, and you know, if it can hold up even a few months, unless you live in like a really rainy part of the country, I think it's a pretty good bet. So this one's gonna be the winner for me, but I think this is an interesting one if you're already doing ceramic coatings or you kind of want to play with more of a coating. And the price point is real nice. Again, it's actually cheaper than the Quick View.